set questions, but I may interject some follow-up questions depending
Okay.
on your answer.
Okay.
It won't be long.
That's okay.
Ready? Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Could I have you say and spell your name for me, please?
Jane Burt. Janeburt.
Okay.
Good question.
Thank you. When and where were you born?
I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, but I grew up in Salisbury.
And when did you attend Salisbury?
I entered kindergarten in 1955 here, and I graduated from here in 1962.
Great. Just going to interrupt. Just because I forgot to say this up front. And when I ask these questions, if you can, try to restate my question.
Okay.
If you know.
I gotcha. I was wondering, because you don't have a mic, I was wondering how you were.
Yeah, I'm not going to be included in this, so it's going to be based on solely like. What you
Okay,
so
do you want to start over again?
Sure, we can.
Or cut out?
We don't have to. We'll just cut this.
Okay, I can.
When did you attend the Salisbury Normal School?
From 1955 to 1962, I attended the campus elementary school, or State Teachers College Campus Elementary School, which is what it was called at that time.
Could you tell me what the school was like back then?
It was very small. I mean, there was one classroom per grade level, and there were about 25 students in each of the classrooms. And it was a very nice school.
Can you describe to me like the classroom setting in general?
It was rows of desks. The classroom was set up in rows of desks with the teacher's desk up at the front. In most cases, I remember third grade, the teacher was her desk was in the back, but she taught up front. So she was standing up front teaching, but her desk was in the back, and then we were just in rows, 4 or 5 rows of, and there were chalkboards and closets for coats. I mean, we had a coat room that we hung our coats in, and there was a closet for her supplies and things like that.
Could you tell me how school was different then than, say, nowadays?
The differences, one of the big differences, there was no electronics. I take that back. In third grade, we took a French class on public television. So they set up the TV and had this lady come on public television, and she taught us French. And that was the only time I remember using television in our classroom. But we did that once a week. And then we had people come from Salisbury University to do things with music and do things like that. And we had a lot of student teachers. I mean, because we were part of the campus, we had student teachers quite often. So.
Could you tell me about your favorite classes?
My favorite classes? I think one of my favorite was 4th grade. I just liked the teacher a lot. She was very open and friendly, and she gave us credit when we answered something right, and she was just very positive in her teaching methods. 1st grade the same way. I felt very positive and very good about. Those are the two that stand out in my mind of the 7 years I was here.
How would you say most of the teachers were for you while you attended here?
Most of them were very, very good. I was a very shy child, so most of them were very good. I had one bad experience, one experience that wasn't real positive, but we lived through it.
Would you want to share?
No.
Could you tell me, you've already kind of went over what the classroom or the layout was. But you want to get, I guess, anything more specific about the classrooms from different grade levels, maybe changes were pretty much the same. Anything unique about the classrooms that you can remember that you can share?
Not really. I mean, first grade we had our reading groups and we had alphabet charts up on the wall and, you know, things that you still see today, but that are not unique, I guess. And I really can't think of anything unique other than the coat closets and the desks and rows and so.
What did your day-to-day life consist of, basically, while you were a teen?
When I attended here, I walked to school every day because I lived about 2 blocks away on Pinehurst Avenue, and I walked here, and rain, snow, sleet, we walked. And when all the public schools were getting out, we were still going to school because they just didn't close Salisbury University, and they still don't. But so it was kind of interesting to walk. And there was, I mean, I remember walking, and there was a fish pond at the end of Holloway, and we fell in a couple of times because there were 4 or 5 of us, and 4 of us were walking. So one of us in the snow walked, and we forgot where the fish pond was, and before we knew it, we were stepping into a fish pond. But we walked, and then we got here and we ate lunch. There was a cafeteria. We brought our lunch. Most people brought their lunches, and we got milk. We also had recess, which consisted of, I mean, there were swings, but then when they built the auditorium that's behind me, they the swings kind of disappeared, and we went to just playing in the sand and playing hopscotch and jump rope and running and just kickball and that kind of thing. So
where was the cafeteria located in this building?
You know where WSCL is? The cafeteria was where WSCL is. And across the hall from it was the library.
Can you describe life on the Eastern Shore at the time?
Good question. How would I describe it? It was, you know, we kind of kept to our neighborhood. We had lots of friends to play with in our neighborhood. My father was a doctor, so I you know, he was out on house calls, but my mother was home, and she was there, always there when we got home from school or when we got home, and you know, it's just it was. I mean, I look back and it was probably simpler than what it is today in that regard. But we also didn't have television until I was probably 4, and then it was black and white, and it was black and white until I got out of high school.
Tell me about your daily activities outside of school, like what you did.
Well, I had a Girl Scout. Outside of school, I belonged to the Girl Scout troop. I would help with my brothers and sisters because they were all younger than I was. You know, we played. We would go to Pinehurst Elementary School and play on the equipment. We would play with friends, kickball in the middle of Pinehurst Avenue, and so we just, you know, other than that, that's a long time ago. You know that, guys.
Yes.
I want somebody to ask you these questions.
Oh, no, don't feel bad at all. Take your time, and it's equally hard to come up with good questions.
Can you describe Salisbury Normal School's impact on the community?
Not really. I think I was too young to understand what the impact of Salisbury Normal School was on the community as a whole. I wish I could give you a better answer.
Could you tell me about the farming? The farming that went on?
There were a lot of farms. There was, I mean, I know that like the Allens had a fruit farm where they just grew all sorts of different kinds of fruits, but so it was very rural. I guess during the time I was growing up, it was rural. But it was, you know, it also had businesses coming in. I mean, we had DuPont dresser over here, and we had other things. You know, I mean, I can sit here and go, well, I know there was a woods over here where the I don't know where the Red Door Sub Shop was. That was just all woods when I was growing up, and for a while there was no Riverside Drive when I was growing up. That was just all countryside, and there was a artesian well where there's a fenced-in like area on Riverside Drive. That used to be an artesian well, and we would stop there to get drinks of water because it was water fresh out of the ground. So it was, you know.
Let's wrap it up. Last question.
Yeah, to wrap it up, what are some of your most favorite memories of attending this school, and or any other information you'd like to share with us that I may not have asked?
Okay. I know that when we performed quite a few things. I mean, we would be in choruses, and we would have performances for parents in this wonderful new auditorium back here. And I remember walking from the cafeteria. We would collect in the cafeteria and walk outside to the back of the auditorium, and it was very cold sometimes, standing out there waiting to go on to our performance. But we had that outside exit, and I don't know too many schools that have an outside way to get in to perform. They usually come in through whoever's sitting in the main auditorium. But it was kind of fun doing the performances and having parents be there for us and that kind of thing. But I also liked the library, and I loved, you know, I remember one day at lunch they told us not to drink the milk because the cows had eaten a lot of onion, so it was very oniony tasting milk. It was really wonderful milk.
Do you have anything else you want to add? Been great. And
You're welcome. But I can't think of anything.
Just like to give you the last one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.